The telltale sign that I'm going to talk. Anyway. Alright. I couldn't decide whether or not I wanted to do a Patreon. No, I thought. Patreon? No. I'm just going to work on my webcomic and then starve. Not starve, but hi. As some of it's not that's not connected, and that wasn't actual stammering. All right, lobbies. Interesting. That's all. This is all stuff to I don't know. Not that stuff. All right. Hi. Okay, I don't actually talk like that. I don't talk like that. That's a persona of sorts. Of sorts. It's not a complete persona. It's a vocal. It's an emulation of a persona. Hi, I'm hi. Ha ha ha. I was supposed to go to Staples. Hi. I just can't do that. I simply cannot do it. I won't let myself do it. Hold on, I'm about to do it. What is Actuality Update? Who am I? What is going on? Where? Hold on. Some of you aren't able to see the expectancies. You see, I don't think that would make sense to anybody but myself. But, all right, there's some weird thing happening right now. Someone's going to watch this video. I'm going to watch this video. Oh, man. Where to begin? I need like 2 minutes, like a nice 2.5 minute video for Patreon. What is Patreon? What is Patreon? Hold on. What's going on right now? Right? What am I dealing with? What is the Secret God Contest? Huh? That's what everyone wants to know. What is the Secret God Contest? What is the Secret God Contest, Greg? Anyway, what is the Secret God Contest? I'll tell you in just a moment. But first, an ad from... No. No. What is this? What is... Who am I? Okay, that's the best one. That's what I'm going with. Who am I? What am I doing? Man, that voice. Hi. Anyway. Who am I? What am I doing? What's going on? Haha. It's Anyway. What is going on? What am I doing? Hi. Hi. No. Anyway. Yes. This is what I'm comfortable doing. All that other stuff. I don't normally censor myself. as some of you may know, anyway, anyway, uh, from watching my last video, okay, that would not make any sense to anyone but myself. Some people might understand what's going on there. I'll explain. There are people out, not out here in the space that I can swing my arms in this physical, what I call the control world. But there are people out here in, maybe if I could like change the video mode to like, you know, negative mode, you know, it's like out here in I guess it's like not imagination land, but my terminal, out here in my outer terminal world. That is to say, my inner terminal world. They're invading me. These are not people that I want. It doesn't matter. I was talking to invisible people just then. Not invisible. Merely invisible to you all. Alright. And that brings me to the point. Yes, applause or laughter. What did I just say? Nothing. No, I don't think in those ways. That you know what? The entire thing in the trash. All right. Who am I and what am I doing? All right, I'm the winner of the Secret God contest. Oh, hold on. No. I wasn't that. You know. Alright, let's try this. Hi, I'm Gregory Michael Bowers, winner of the Secret God contest. That's... What is the Secret God contest? Anyway, what is the Secret God contest? That is a mouth... Anyway. What is the Secret God contest, you ask? Well, when you're born, reality is presented to you initially as something that you don't even understand because you are a mindless thing. Now, I know what people are saying. No, I've seen pictures of me as a baby. I clearly had a mind. I'm smiling, I'm crying, you know. I mean, your body is doing those things, but you are just some chaotic mishmash of sensations and feelings. You're basically just like being orchestrated by people in your terminal, the invisible people. All right, lesson 1. Life. What is it? Born. Alright? Anyway. Born. Baby. 0. Alright, that might be Swedish. Anyway. So life. Born. Baby. Child. School. That 12 is horrible. Alright, school, in between kindergarten and 12th grade. Go from child to teen. College, and career, and then now this is where it gets a little controversial, all right? I'll just do this. Mate. Alright. Marriage. I mean, this is Maryland. You know, you can get married regardless of what your sexual orientation is. Right? Then, kids. Grandparent. Just how you kind of think about it when you're around 3. This is basically the initial presentation. The initial presentation, as it appears to us, as soon as we realize that something is going on. It isn't usually until around 3 that our minds finally kick into gear and we're like, wait a second, and everything from 0 to 3 goes into, it's not erased, it goes into the trash bin. Because the invisible people, who do we call them? We call them, what do we call what do we call them? Let's just call them spirits. Right? Hi. For those of you who've been watching Cosmos or some some other shit. What is this? What's this word? Spirits. I must be talking about like, you know, was that wine? Beer? Spirits, something about like fermentation versus like, you know, something. Anyway, so your entire life from being born or being conceived even up till about 3, just kind of the spirits give you a brain wipe. I'll call those would be like the operators. I'll call those the baby operators. All right, baby operators have the job of, you know, fooling your parents into thinking that you have a mind. You know, I'm a baby. Wah, my diaper's full. I'm hungry. I'm bored. I don't know how to fall asleep. Parents, and then, you know, like, you seem to be something all the way up until like 3. Then it's like, what happens? You kind of don't even think. This is not the Patreon video, by the way. I'm going to have to do a separate one for that. But, I'm never flustered. All of that stuff actually is me, like, sending out, like, decoys, like, and then it's like, hi, I'm back over here. I had to pretend like I didn't know it was... Anyway, not that I'm pretending that I don't. It's more like I have to like, I do something. Anyway, so like, let's see, the baby operators, right? The baby, I don't know, puppeteers, kind of like puppeteers. We'll just call it baby operators because the word puppeteer like creates some sort of like, you know, nightmare concept. Like, I don't want to be like puppeted like I'm some puppet and the spirit world is puppeting me. Like, we'll just call them baby operators. And that's clearly. So this is what happens. You're born. Or you're conceived, and you're really just like, you're this thing. I'm just gonna do a non-specific sex embryo. So, that looks like smoke. He's smoking a joint. So you're this baby. By the way, this is like episode 1 of Reality Suture, the new Actuality update spin-off, especially for the age of Patreon. I just anyway. So once you're this thing, you have sensations. You are this. Don't let anyone fool you into thinking that you're inside of this robot thing. You are the robot thing. That's gonna be a nice bumper sticker, and nobody is to make it. But I will. You know what? This can be something for Patreon people. You are the robot thing. Or try to guess what I'm referencing here. You are the robot thing. Some of you know it right now. It's not really a reference to that yet. But if I said, wouldn't it be horrible if the bumper stickers read, You are the robot thing? Because then, that's not fight. Anyway. So. Anyway. So, like, you are the robot thing. And, no, you are not the robot thing. You are not. That's my bumper sticker is, you are not the robot thing. Alright? That doesn't work. Alright? So, you are not the, no, wait, no. You are the robot thing. That is it. That is right. I don't know. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking that, you're in the robot thing. Alright? So, you are the robot thing. Right? But what's happening is, you don't have a mind, but your body kicks out all these sensations, and so you're really kind of like this nebulous like thing that is experiencing sensations. Cold. It's cold, but you aren't going. You're kind of being orchestrated. So you have a natural thing. It sucks. But you're kind of being orchestrated by the baby operators. You are being orchestrated, and they are trying. It's like somebody's trying to be reincarnated as you. And in some cases, there are people who are trying to do that because they think that that's how it's done. No. But worry not, the baby operators will do that anyway. So what happens is, you are this robot thing, and these people are like trying to come back as you, and so like when they're cold, when you're cold, they are what kind of, they are what reels away, like they're experiencing reality through your body. So you're generating sensations that are unpleasant for the audience. And the audience, some of them in your face are going, that's cold, I don't like that, right? They're building your mind. Then, once you receive nourishment, it feels good. You still don't have a mind, but your baby is kicking, your body is kicking out all of the sensations. That's me moving away trash. Anyway, mind trash. Mind trash over here. Anyway, so some of you might already know why, but wow, why am I experiencing so much mind trash? These are things that are not published anywhere else in the universe. And a lot of people are trying to keep this information secret. Ha ha ha. I've already posted most of this information on YouTube already. These people are just constantly trying to stop me. But since I won the Secret God contest, they can never win. Hold on, folks. Anyway, anyway, but I wonder why. Well, it must be the prize that I won. Anyway, the point is they can never win. I always win. Anyway, so yeah, that's a nice bumper sticker. Because sometimes I have to do that, right? So, you're this thing, and everyone's trying to be you, and you're learning, like you're learning, like that doesn't feel good. There's a natural, like, being cold sucks. Being warm, or at least room temperature, much better. So, like, yeah, like universe happy, it really equals like what we are, right? So if I'm cold, some other people out there in the universe, the spirits, they are uncomfortable as well. So we're all kind of like in this together, right? It doesn't mean that we're made of those people. It just means that, like, if we're experiencing something unpleasant, the universe is experiencing something unpleasant. The universe is made of us. So, that's why, like, it's like, ideally, like, rather than punishing people with pain and psychological, like shitty situation, well, this is not for Patreon, but, like, psychologically, like, anyway, psychologically shitty situations, it's better to educate people and then just, like, leave them. I mean, like, there's a scale of, like, shitty people, and, like, basically you want to separate the shitty people from the not shitty people, and the shitty people, like, rather than prisons, just send them to Detroit. Anyway, so from 0 to 3, we're off and on. Like, see, what happens is we're being built into a person. We're learning. We're really competing with other people who want to be us for our independence. So I'm holding this marker. If the spirit world, commandeers my arm, and I'm, like, reaching for, I'm like, what's happening with my arm? I have to, find the code, or the frequency that these people are using, cut it off and take it over, and then I control this arm. So we do that between 0 and 3, probably around, like, 18 months, 2 years. Like, we're doing that. We're fighting for our independence. We're fighting for control of our bodies. So once we attain that control, these people just they're fuckers. They're actually very upset that they lose. So once we beat those people, they wipe the memory. They go, it is wiped for all intents and purposes, but it's not erased. It's in the trash bin somewhere, and there are people guarding it, and you just can't recall what was happening. That's very real. It's like when you wake up from a dream, and then you just can't remember it at all. That technology exists, obviously. All right, so we're getting close to something. So once we hit that 3-year-old understanding of things, that independence, our memories are wiped, that's when the contest begins. Right? Or rather, that's when the contest, the Secret God contest, I mean, it's over now, but that's when it began, for me. That would be 1979. So, I mean, you know, I was born in 76, and about a month after my third birthday, you know, I was like, what's going on? My memories, where are they? And these criminals took off with them. I got them back. Anyway, it's like I'm directing traffic here. Whoa! Anyway, so initially, after your memory is wiped, the initial presentation, so to speak, the initial presentation is you're a baby, you're 3 years old, your memories are gone. What's going on? Well, this is what looks like life is. So, life model. And something's weird about it because it doesn't seem to be very pleasant because it's a finite life model. And when you're a kid before school, for many, life is great because what is life? It's playing outside, playing video games, watching TV, watching movies. The best. Chuck E. Cheese, depending on where you live. Anyway, so it's a finite life model, right? Now, like between like 3 and we'll say around 3, right? So around 3 years old, you get this finite life model, and it's like, you know, this is if you make it to the end, because you could die at any moment between born and grandparent. So it's like this, and then dead, and then what comes next? Yeah, there are no commercial breaks. Some of you might not. This is very. Here's the commercial break. It's a different topic. I've chosen not to monetize my videos, and this is something that I chose to do as soon as monetizing came about, because I hate ads. And so if you're watching this stuff, I don't want some other person to make money off of my shit. So, I mean, I'm going to do Patreon. I'm sure they get some sort of cut, possibly. I haven't really looked at the fine print yet. But that's kind of like, they're doing so. They're providing a service that I'm going to use. I'm paying them. They're not going to put any ads on my videos. Hey, that's fine. But ads on my videos, some person is going to advertise their like shit product on this? No way. All right? That's like the quintessential artistic integrity definition right there. Monetizing my videos would be selling out. That is it. Anyway, it's as simple as that. So, memory wiped, 3 years old, finite life model. We'll do like we'll make this B, right? And then A is like, memory wiped, right? So like, baby operator spirits. All right, so I got some more space here. So memory wiped, finite life model. What's the deal, right? Ask around, right? It's very video game feeling at this point. Of course, in 1979, there were no video games other than Pitfall and Combat. But now, excuse me, I have to do something with my voice. Anyway, so ask around. The answers I got were some people, like, what happens after you die? Alright? Ask around. The answer I got was no one knows. It's a mystery. So, I got that answer, which I think was super great, because that was my quest. And I'll be right. I gotta let there's a cat over here, so outside. I gotta let the cat in. There will be like 0 to anyway. Anyway, so I let the cat in case you were. Anyway, so no one knows it's a mystery, right? And that's interesting. that's weird, right? Then I got some people believe that if you're good, you go to heaven, and if you're bad, you go to hell. Eh? So good, heaven, bad, hell. Right? So, so of course, the next question is, what's heaven? Right? So, what is heaven? At this point, I would like you to review your donation amount and increase it. Alright? No, but anyway, hopefully you get the picture. This is what my show is. It's me, winner of the Secret God Contest, doing my series doing a series of YouTube videos it's explaining everything. Alright, so yeah. What is heaven? What's heaven? These are the answers I got. Everyone you've ever loved, your family, your friends, everyone you love, reunited. No sadness, no nightmares, no pain. Right? It was a very basic heaven concept. All of your family and friends throughout your whole life are there, and you're reunited. It's very much like the last episode of Lost. I'm in this must be heaven. Yeah, it's everybody, right? Wow, sounds a lot like being alive. Anyway. Sounds a lot like being... Anyway. But it sounds a lot like being alive. Right? Like, it's the same thing. Yeah, but when you're... I guess, you know... No aging. Right? So it's like, when you're alive, you go from baby to grandpa or grandma, and then you die. Then, like, you're in heaven, you know you don't age. Hold on. I'm basically, what happens when I do weird stuff like that, even in greater detail, what happens when I do stuff like stop in the middle of something and people are being hypercritical of my delivery. You know, the spirits. Anyway. So, like, those things, and worry not, like, you know, my terminal is the hub. It's the central hub of the universe. Everybody who's anybody, all around me. I'm the secret guide contest winner. Greg Bowers, have you heard? Anyway. Anyway. So, heaven sounds like some, you know, big payoff. Yeah! Right? No aging, family and friends, right? No sadness, no pain, no nightmares. All right. I'm just going to kill myself right now, right? No. Well, why not? It's like, you know, just super great, like, you know, was it, not a theme park, but like, you know, no, not a theme park. Rides. Anyway. Anyway. So, like, it's this, you know, wow, heaven sounds really great. I'm just going to kill myself. All right, let's do it. Woo! Oh, what? No? So, like, no, you can't kill yourself. You're not allowed to kill yourself. No. Why not? You're just not allowed to. What? Anyway, you know, no, it's like, because Jesus says that killing yourself is a sin. Right? You kill yourself, you go to hell. Oh. So, what? Yeah, very weird. So then the next question is, what is hell? Right? We'll get there's still some unanswered questions. Just a few unanswered questions about heaven. Then there's hell. Right? Basically, hell is like, you know, it's your family, right? Without your friends. No, it's sadness, nightmares, pain, and obviously you grow really, really old and look, you know, super bad. You know, no makeup. Anyway, so we all know hell. Classically, hell is you're like, you know, you're knee deep in lava, and you're like you're shoveling coal, like you know, it's horrible. You're being whipped. You know, you're being like stretched out on a rack, and like, you know, some demons playing with your guts. You know, while they're still inside your, well, not while they're inside, but like, and your stomach's split open, your guts are hanging out, and the demon is playing with it. And it's like, oh no! And it's like, wait a second. You know, you're like, how long do you have to stay in hell before you go back up to heaven? Oh no, you're in hell forever, right? That doesn't make any sense, right? So what happens is, you're asking these questions about time, because it looks like you go from like 0 to 10, and then, you know, infinity, right? And it's like, well, that's weird. So it's like you depending on how you perform in 0 to 10, you either, you know, get heaven forever, right, or hell forever. Who came up with that system, right? But then, you know, you like look around, you know, and like maybe like flip through a magazine, and you realize this is total bullshit, right? This doesn't make any sense, right? Where are these places, right? Oh, well, they say that hell is like beneath the ground, and heaven is like up in the clouds. And, you know, after you flip through the magazine, you're like, oh, it looks like we're flying around in airplanes. I mean, how does heaven feel about us like flying around up there? Like, there's clearly nothing up there. And then you flip through another magazine, obviously National Geographic or Omni, and you see that like we've mapped the entire Earth like inner like workings. There's like a crust, and then there's like a lava and whatnot. There are no people. Like people. These places can't exist like up in the sky or down below the ground. That's garbage. You realize that these are just like tall tales that people are telling, kids to make them behave. So, what is this shit, right? And you'll notice that I haven't even gotten into like the church. This is just like basic, kids asking questions to their, agnostic parents. So, now that we've gotten this far, no definitive afterlife detectable. So, you might talk to other people and ask them about heaven. What do you think exists in heaven? What do you think heaven is like? And I had a friend who took it to a little more of a fantastic like fantasy level. Oh yeah, anything you want is there. If you want to eat like a chocolate cake, you can boom, it just appears. And so then like heaven starts to look like some sort of fantasy fulfillment. Paradise. Right? Oh yeah, it's the best. It's like you have like a genie, and you're like, yeah, I would like, or some guy named Gene is up there. Anyway, so like, anyway, so it's like you have a genie and you can just keep making wishes. Oh, I want a Ferrari. Yeah, you're in heaven. You get whatever you want. Right? Okay. That makes sense, right? And this is where people. This is where most people will like stop the mind workings, because I'm about to reveal the crux. I'm about to reveal the point that completely deflates the concept of heaven. Yeah, I want a cake. Oh yeah, okay, you got it, right? I want a Ferrari, right? Got it, right? I want Marilyn Monroe, right? She's yours, right? Wait a second. What happens if somebody else wishes for Marilyn Monroe, right? Uh, you know, I get Marilyn Monroe. Hold on there, circle. Triangle here. I want Marilyn Monroe too, right? Well, what happens, right? Well, obviously the triangle gets a different Marilyn Monroe from some other parallel universe. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Right? I want the Marilyn Monroe from this continuity, the core control world continuity. I don't want some copy, some clone. I want the actual Marilyn Monroe. Well, it's heaven, you get your wish. Right? It doesn't work. Because circle already has Marilyn Monroe. Triangle, wait a second. Why doesn't Marilyn Monroe get to choose who she wants to be with? Ah, because she's in hell. Right? She sinned. Right? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Right? No. Let's say that she gets into heaven somehow. Right? These are kind of, Anyway. I know what you're all thinking. She's out there in my terminal. Like, there's so much shit. I keep everybody kind of like minimized and the volume's turned all the way down. And like, I'm just looking at like, vital signs. Anyway, but she is out there, guys. You're never gonna get her. None of you. Not even you. Anyway. But anyway. Anyway, so it doesn't work, right? So it's like, looks like Marilyn Monroe has to like the person, and let's say there's like, Pentagon, and Marilyn Monroe is, she's into Pentagon. I like Pentagon, right? And so these two guys are like, oh man. It's like, oh, don't worry, guys. You can get this clone. She looks exactly like Marilyn Monroe. I don't want the clone. I want the one that everyone wants. That one, the real one, right? Heaven doesn't work. You want to settle for like some look-alike? Nobody wants to settle for a look-alike. They want the actual person. Like when you're in love with a girl and she like goes off and like fucks her best friend, and you're like, that's horrible. And it's just like in Say Anything, where is it Jeremy Piven? No, it's the guy, that dude, that actor. I don't know his name. He was in Mumford. Anyway, it's Joe, right? So Joe says, man, I can get you anybody, right? You don't want anyone. You don't want a look-alike. You want that actual girl. You want that girl, right? Side note, pathetic. Anyway, so heaven doesn't work. Marilyn Monroe goes with whoever she wants to go with, if that person wants to be with her. Pentagon might be a chick, Marilyn Monroe might be into, little girl-on-girl action, Anyway, so like, or maybe she's gonna do a little like 2-on-1. That joke, that doesn't make any sense to anyone under the age of 7, 10, 13. It depends on the person. Anyway. So yeah, that's it. It looks like Marilyn chooses whoever she wants, and if that person likes her, hey. So then heaven just looks like a continuation of existence. I call it the control world continuity. Right? It's not some, jackpot. But good luck trying to explain this to anyone that belongs to any sort of organized religion or even unorganized religion. Because what waits for them when they die? Oh, Jesus in heaven. And like, woo, everyone's there, and it's like a perpetual party, and I got my Ferrari, and I got like, the girls, Marilyn Monroe, And then when you explain to them, when you try to explain to them that Marilyn Monroe, is not going to want anything to do with those guys. Oh, no, whatever. They just, they shut down, and they're like, no, don't try to like, bring me down. Don't try to like ruin my party. Don't hate on my shit, man. It's like, I'm just explaining to you that heaven doesn't exist, right? So this is, there's kind of a weird thing happening right here, because some people, right, represented by this circle, obviously, some people think that it's like, heaven, right? Heaven is this square, And when I die, I'm going to heaven, right? But then, like, this other circle is like, you're not going to heaven. Oh, yeah, you're going to go to something else. You're going to go to X, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, what's X? And age, like, 6, you know, you have no idea, right? I don't know, right? Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, but the fact that you think you're going to this place that doesn't pan out is, it makes you stupider than me, right? So this, this is what happens, to me in 1979, maybe like more like 1981-ish, right? All the while I'm going to the movies, watching Tron and Empire Strikes Back and Dark Crystal. That would make it 1982 then. So between like 79 and 82, I'm gathering all the data, right? Not everyone else in the universe is doing this. Very few people. I haven't even met another person who was doing what I was doing back then. That's kind of the point of what I'm doing here. On patreon.com. Anyway. No, but that's actually the crux of what I'm doing here. I'm recruiting people for reality because nobody is living in it except for me so far. Maybe other people like Amanda Seyfried and Emma Stone and Felicity Jones. But anyway. Anyway. Yeah, you know what? I think they're all like never mind. I was talking about the people who believe in heaven. Anyway, so yeah, no cake, no Ferrari, no Marilyn Monroe. Actually, you might be able to get the cake. You'll most likely be able to get the cake. But this is something that I didn't really even get until I made it. All right? So what happens next? I'm going to kind of spoil things and say dream world. All right? The dream world. And this is the next point of controversy. All right, so heaven, no genies. Oh, but wait a second. What if there are genies in the dream world? Those are just criminals. Anyway, we'll get to that. We'll say this. We'll do this. Genies, criminals. Right? And that means like fairy godmothers. Anyone that wants to give you something that you have not earned is a criminal trying to rope you into some sort of slavery system. But anyway, so around so what happens is, you're talking to these people about what's going to be up here in the box, and then there's this weird lingering not rightness about the whole thing, and you go, wait a second. How long has this shit been going on? Right? Clearly, am I the first person to touch upon this, heaven doesn't work thing? I mean, it really felt that way. And it pretty much was that way. Because no one else is participating at the level I'm participating at. Everyone else is like, hey man, don't even think about it. I can't even wait. There's that kind of wait and see attitude, or it's going to be the best. No detective work at all. Seemingly, completely unrelated, I had nightmares when I was a kid. Not just nightmares, but night terrors. And what is a night terror? Well, I'll tell you. I'm just gonna define it in my own way. You have a nightmare, then you wake up, and they're still there. Right? Now, I didn't quite like delve too much into what that signified back when I was like 6. Same time doing all these investigations, and for some reason I start having night terrors. Why? Right? There's no explanation, and I didn't really put 2 and 2 together immediately, but that's the way it went. So age 6, I'm cracking the mystery wide open. I start having nightmares, night terrors. And that's going to bring us to terminals, right? Like my computer terminal here. It's the imaginary space around your head that you imagine things in. And it turns out that it's actually a real fucking thing that the spirit world utilizes to communicate with you. And the medium of our terminals, some people call it, and like, the terms are completely, fucked at this point. But some people call it the ether, with an ether. Some people call it like the astral plane, the waking dream world. But what happens is, we have this space around our heads, and when the spirits recede around age 3 and try to convince you that they don't exist, they basically just cloak themselves, and then they just, they kind of like fly around your head, and they take up positions at different points around your head, and they project all these things. Like it's like a movie projector, but they can vary the density and realness of the things they're projecting. They can project other people. Very complex stuff. Terminal, right? So that's the terminal. Your terminal is what the people are using to terrorize me, right? They're terrorizing me. I wake up from my dream, my nightmare, and they're there. Like it's kind of like, when I'm dreaming, when you're dreaming, or when you're in the dream world, they're projecting like a high, like a 100% dense environment at you that you're running around in while you're asleep. And then you wake up, and the dream world disappears, but your terminal is still connected to it while you're awake, and then they're projecting other stuff of a similar terrifying nature at me, and I have to like run away from ghosts. So luckily I had parents sleeping in the next room, and there's some weird rule that says if you are brave enough to get up and run into your parents' room, then you're safe. It happened to me again. This time the ghosts were coming from the hallway. I had to run towards them and make a left into my parents' room, but I did it because I'm Greg Bowers, winner of the Secret God contest. If I had maintained my gaze, it would have been a completely different effect. Anyway, so, all right, here we are. We got dreams, we got terminals, right? So, but what happens is these people pull back, and I'm left to what I call the fallacy of a finite existence. Oh yeah, also time, right? So, fallacy of a finite existence. It's basically the illusion that many of us grew up in, which is where these physical hunks of meat people walking around Earth, and there's been a history of wars and stuff, and we could die at any moment by disease or get hit by a car, or in my case, nuclear holocaust, right? So it's like, oh, here, I'll do it. I gotta do that again. Nuclear holocaust. Anyway, so in 1984, we had the Reagan era Cold War, nuclear holocaust. Great, right? I hope I don't die, right? But it isn't really that. When we're kids, we can feel it more, like we're like magic people in some sort of like dream machine. But the spirits want to convince you that you're just some like person, physical. This weird concept of like corporeal physicalness that's finite existence, and then when you die you're gone. And like when you're dreaming, when you're in the dream world, anyway, when you're in the dream world, that's the dream world. But when you're awake, physical, and you could die, right? So I grew up in that, and a lot of you can pretty much gauge. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about that I'm leaving out, I'm going to address in my webcomic. Still yet to debut page 1, but the website's done. attentionhumans.org. I'll be debuting page 1 like in some time. And that brings us back to patreon.com. The more people donate through patreon.com, the more time I will have to spend on my webcomic. You can't even see what I'm touching, but this is my tablet, my input device. It's a Wacom. It's what I'm using to color my pages. But anyway, so this is basically like a companion piece, or the webcomic is essentially a companion piece to this. This is basically what I'm doing here is basically just like phase 1, I'll call it, even though it's actually a much later phase. But it's really like phase 1 of my creative projections. First, I'm going to do these YouTube videos, and then I'm going to do my webcomic. I'm doing a webcomic. So webcomic is phase 2, then phase 3 is films. So Patreon.com is going to allow me to rake in some cash so that I can, work on phase 2 and usher phase 3 into existence. So Attention Humans is phase 2, phase 3 films. Alright? Now I built this plan of graduated acceleration because it's the smartest thing to do. I have very little money in this current phase, so you guys get a dry erase board and lights and high definition cameras. The cheapest I could buy, they're about $200. I'd like anyway, I'd like better cameras. So that's one thing to shoot for. I need more money, guys. I need more money. Okay, anyway. So my ads are for myself. Isn't that weird? Anyway, so alright, genies are criminals. We got the phases. Let's see, where did I leave off? Ah, yes, the fallacy of a finite existence. Right? Clearly, that's what I grew up. I don't want to say clearly, but clearly it's a thing. People are out there pimping it. It's called science. All right? Science is made up of people who tell you how lots of stuff works, and they give you about 50% of the story. Oh yeah, water is made from oxygen and hydrogen. It's H2O, right? Hey, thanks, science. Also, when you die, there's nothing afterwards. Or so we might experience. Or not experience. The other 50% is like, huh? So, science. Gravity exists. Thank you, scientist. What happens when we die? Anyway. Yeah. So what happens when we die? Our bodies decompose. No, but what happens to our first person perspective existences? You know, what happens next? Uh Mystery. Mystery. Did I mention that we have a robot? We've got a remote control car on Mars. Yeah. Beep boop beep boop beep boop. Yeah, okay, that's great. Who cares? Oh, don't you understand that, like, you know, you gotta study physics to be able to do that? But we put the, you know, Curiosity rover on Mars. Beep boop beep boop beep. That's great, scientist. You know, you're gonna see some science. This is the thing. You're gonna see a lot of scientists are not going to be able to talk to me ever. They're just going to run away because I can explain everything in a way that everyone knows is the way things actually are. And no one else can do this. I'm the only one. Please donate to... Anyway. So, I mean, here's the thing. I actually don't need... I need the money. You know, I can get the money. It's just that I can do a lot more, you know, with more money. You know? Ah, man. No, don't imagine, alright? Don't imagine what I could do if I had more money. Okay, whatever. Anyway. You know, I've done this without getting any money from anyone. And, hey, that's great. I already did it. I've got 30 subscribers. Yeah! Now I'm going to get money. Because there's nothing else out there that's as good as I am. Clearly. Think about it. I'm going to give myself $100 every video. Anyway. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, back to the thing. Don't feel bad about giving me more money than you give other people on patreon.com. They should all be giving me money as well. Anyway, terminal stuff. Anyway. Alright, so science. 50% right, 50% just nothing. I mean, it gets to a point where they try, and then there are people who actually are fuckers. And they just, alright, here's what I'm getting at, right? Now, I didn't experience any mental problems at all. I didn't even... Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But I saw other people, oh, I've got, like, depression, or I've got some sort of chemical imbalance in my head. I have bipolar disorder. Alright? Oh, and I take Celexa. I take Prozac. Prozac was the first big mood stabilizer, as many might remember. I would like the people who remember that to donate money. Anyway. So, oh, I'm depressed, I get sad, I have bipolar disorder. But I take Prozac, and now I'm automatically happy. Should creep me out, right? So, how does that work? Chemicals. Alright. Now here's where science, and remember, Science. It's either right or wrong, right? And given this entry into the Gregiverse, as I sometimes call it, uh, you will know when it's right and when it's wrong. For instance, gravity exists. Hey, obviously. But dreams are made by chemicals in our brains. No, they're not. Like, they're clearly not products of chemicals in our brains. And then we have to question the word chemical. The word chemical is just a word applied to something. This is a magic marker, or this is a dry erase marker made out of plastic. Right? Yeah, plastic. It's made out of plastic. It's not made out of dream energy. Oh ho ho! It is made out of dream energy. Just really dense, stickler for detail, continuity stuff. It's not going to turn into a banana or a pumpkin. It's just, this is always going to be, it's called the control world continuity. There's a continuity that goes from whatever, this plastic was made from. And guess what? It's not too difficult to know what plastic is made from, because there are only a few things that exist on Earth. Everything. So it's either made from trees or rocks or grass, But I'm guessing like more like oil and some other shit, probably like weed and like shrooms, Woo! Right? So that's right. Chemicals, right? Wrong. So what is mental illness? Why depression? Why bipolar disorder? Mental illness equals terminal hackers. Terminal hackers. Spirits. And the thing is, there are people who aren't dead who know how to use their terminals to hack people's terminals. This is psychic vampirism. Anyway. But that is the core principle of psychic vampirism. What psychic vampirism? Oh, psychic vampires, energy suckers. All that terminology does not give you an idea of like what's happening and how it works. But my terminology does. It's your terminal. It's people using their terminals to access the ether, or I call it SIT, which stands for the System of Interconnected Terminals. Right? So, people, psychic vampires, use SIT to hack your terminal. That's simple. So, what happens is when somebody has a mental illness, their terminals are getting hacked. Oh, well, can't they take Prozac to fix that? No. They like it's a placebo effect. And here's the thing. If people are worried, oh no, if the pharmaceutical company hears what Greg's saying, they might try to like hush him up. Hush me up. I'm the winner of the Secret God contest, not some anyway, but not some like a conspiracy theorist that like uncovers, the 3 days of the Condor, secret. Oh, they're gonna come after me. I've won a contest that no one in the history of existence has ever won. The people who make these things are actually trying to help people. I'm just saying that like it doesn't always work. Now what happens is somebody takes a Prozac pill or whatever, Celexa, Zyprexa, fucking Paxil, and it's those names. It's like the number on the pill and the name of the pill and the action of taking it summons Team Prozac in the dream world to come and kick the asses of the hackers. And so what happens is when when people are like, oh, my Prozac doesn't work, and they're like, oh, why don't you try Paxil, right? Why don't you try 250 milligrams of Paxil, you know, and we'll see how that works. Okay, doc, right? And then they kill themselves, and then they come back and they're like, Paxil's not doing it. Oh, have you tried Zyprexa, right? Oh, no, what's that? Oh, yeah, give it a shot. It's basically just, a nerd, right? Like a Willy Wonka nerd or a gobstopper, or a cert or Tic Tac. This video is brought to you by certs and Tic Tacs. Anyway, so, that worked for some people back in like 1999, 2000. Then around 2001, and people are like, that's total bullshit, right? Anyway, so that's wrong, right? Science, sorry science, that's wrong. Chemicals. Oh yeah, if you take lithium, it balances out the salt content of your brain juice. Right? So, mental illness solved. Basically, you just need to master the art of terminal maintenance. Science, 50% right, 50% wrong. And it's not like they're either going to be right or wrong about something. And that's not really like an accurate percentage. It's like some things, like this board is made with science, yes, but scientists do not have all the answers. When you watch some scientist talking about how the universe was created and whatnot, they don't know shit. They just make up half that shit. It's retarded. So one of the main weird things about existence, right, that plagued me for quite some time, is that time going forwards, forever, that makes total sense to me. You die and then you keep going at some point. But for most of my life, I figured you die and that's it, because I was convinced by the fallacy of the finite existence. And I didn't think about my night terrors every night. I tried to forget about them. But somewhere deep inside I knew something didn't add up about the model, right? Because I thought about, what happened before, and then I saw like the history of the universe that seemed, to go from like, World War II, or like, Beatles, World War II, World War I, right, etc., etc., dinosaurs. I was thinking about something else. Anyway, and all the way back to the Big Bang, they call it, right? Yeah, the Big Bang, and then nothing. I don't think so, science. That's 50%. That's just trash. Oh, no. Everything goes back. All right, first of all, space. You think about space, you just keep going. We're not in something, because then you'd still be the something that we're in would exist in a larger infinite space. There's never a not outside. So that like scientists, oh no, sure, it's infinite, but the matter is finite. How do you know? What if you just can't see that far away from this blob of matter, and there's another blob of matter? I mean, there most certainly is. So, the concept of one central point is garbage, right? Then the timeline of like, and then Big Bang, and then nothing before that, clearly you can just keep rewinding the tape. That was a jog shuttle, whoa, what's going on? And like just keep going back. You go backwards forever, right? Like there's never a beginning, right? Now that didn't make any sense to me. I was like, what? Wait a second. If you can always go back further in time, that means that time never began. And I accepted that. That's it. That is the answer. Time never began. Right. But then it's like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Yes. Right? That's it. It doesn't make any fucking sense, right? Ah, but eventually, I lived with that for most of my life until like a few years ago. Then it came to me, the winner of the Secret God contest, to make it make sense. Because we can't have it not make any fucking sense. It has to make fucking sense, right? So here's my solution. You're born, I'm born, right? I'm born, right? It's more like this. All right. Let's say I'm born here, right? This is time. And then you go back far enough, you got like dinosaurs and Earth cools and like, sun like shoots out Jupiter or whatever. I have this neat idea that the sun just like, you know, just like mitosis, just shoots out things, you know. There's Jupiter, and then there's like Earth, and not in this order, obviously. Venus, and then like they just kept shooting things out until finally Earth, and it's like, I got it right, and then like everything starts. Oh, psych! I like to think that the Earth is static. It doesn't matter; it's all relative, and that the sun is going around the Earth, and it just has like, Venus and Mercury spinning around it, and these three things, these two planets orbiting the sun, orbit Earth, and that totally works for me. I like that better. It just doesn't look as pretty, It kind of makes everything. It kind of makes everything in the world. It's like all the stars have to maintain their positions while they rotate around the Earth. It's beautiful. I mean, I would love to make that 3D model. Donate through my Patreon account, and maybe we can work together, VFX people who are in desperate need of work. Anyway, yes, that's what this is. This is me building something so fucking remarkable and beautiful, and I can just keep it going perpetually, indefinitely, forever. That's what I built. And we'll get to what I'm talking about in a second, but that is something called creative entropy solution. We all have an idea of what creative entropy is because we've all watched TV and movies, and we've seen them go from good to shit, and then, canceled. So, or one season, canceled. The end. So, back to this. So here's time. Here's where I was born, and then, I'm moving through time, and here's like, Cold War, and Berlin Wall goes down, and like Kurt Cobain blows himself away, allegedly, who knows, who cares. And then like Radiohead and Björk, and then like Fight Club, and then, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Anyway, so like, they say that you go backwards, and then like here's creation of the Earth, and then before the creation of the Earth, everything else is pretty much just trivial. Like, who cares? Like, no, it's just like, if you keep rewinding the tape, all you're going to get is just like, planets spinning and like, Jupiter. I can do this forever backwards. Woo! Right? So, as long as you rewind the tape, I'm riding just ahead of everyone at the... Anyway, I'm at the furthest... I'm at the earliest most point back in time in your mind, right? I'm thinking I'm there. I'm at that point, right? I'm moving. So like you get to a thing where like it's like here I'll draw it a different way so that it looks better. Yeah. So it's like history goes backwards, and then backwards history is my forwards existence. So you can just keep going back further and further. I'm going to be there further than you, you're wasting your time. There's nothing back there. I'm, a Googleplex of years beyond where you're at. Whoa, oh, you mean here? I'm here too. I'm back further than anyone ever. I'm always, I'm the fucking forever man backwards. Woo, right? And you can never go back further than me. I'm always older. That sounds weird. But I'm always further back than anyone ever. Infinity, forever. The end, no. It just keeps going. And I'm always at the earliest, most point. Forever. Okay. Anyway, so that's it. It's like you go back far enough, and then as you're going back in time, rewinding the tape, I begin to appear, go away. There's nothing. All right. So that's it. I am always at that earliest, most point, and I'm still searching. We're never gonna find it. Oh wait, it's right here. It just keeps going though. Wow. Yeah, keep rewinding. I got all night. So what happens is eventually it gets boring, and then we get a sandwich or like a milkshake. So, that's we can think about backwards time forever. No, we can't. I mean, intermittent, we can always touch upon it again. Let's think about that again. Wow, amazing. Wow, it just keeps going. That's crazy. But eventually, I really want to make movies with Amanda Seyfried and Emma Stone and Felicity Jones. So, let's get that going. I've read about the VFX strikes. That happened oddly enough. Last year or so. I think it was last year. So it's what is that? Rhythm and Hues. Woo! Yeah, I got laid off from them. Anyway, so Rhythm and Hues. Anyway, that's how you spell rhythm, right? Anyway, but Rhythm and Hues, they lay off everything. VFX. What's going on with VFX? Let's take a slight detour here. This is all good stuff. I'm just gonna. It's dead silence as I rewind. Rather, gotta rewind. Anyway, rewind on the brain. Anyway, as I erase all this shit. There's a glut. Everyone goes. I'm gonna go to school and then I'm gonna study VFX. Then I'm gonna work for Industrial Light and Magic. Oh yeah, my continued success in the VFX field is assured because I work for ILM, right? Meanwhile, there's 50 trillion gajillion people. Every year, more people graduate from Cal Arts. Oh yeah, I went to Cal Arts. I studied experimental animation. I'm going right to Weta. Woo! And then it's Rhythm and Hue. It's I'm gonna work at Boss Films, right? Oops. Anyway. I'm gonna work at Boss Films. Boss Films closed down. I'm gonna work at Rhythm and Hues. Oh, I think they just got bought out. I think they're still operating. But layoffs. Rhythm and Hues gone. All right, so maybe Weta or ILM. All right, there's only 30,000 people. Or probably about 7,000 people. Well, if you watch the credits to Iron Man 3 or Avatar or Lord of the Rings, you're gonna see 7 trillion people, but that still leaves 700 Googleplexes of people that are out of work. Guess what? The more money I get, the more VFX people I can hire to produce my series about how the universe was created. I've got so much shit that I want to make into visual films. I'm so sick of this fucking chair. I was looking at the monitor. Anyway, but like yeah, like it's like, you know, it's like think of it as a video game. Get me out of this basement, people. All it takes is money. It's that easy. You don't even have to like solve any puzzles. You just you have to solve the puzzle of like click on like, you know, donate. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, donation. Woo. 1? No. 5? No. It depends. Depends on your situation. If you can't afford to donate anything, I mean, I'm gonna work it so that like I get paid per video, and that gives me like a that gives me motivation to make more videos like every day, right? Now here's the thing. It's like, oh man, but if you get like, you know, $500 per video and you make a video every day, you know, then you're gonna make all this money. Yeah, and you know, oh shit, but if you're making all that money, then you're like, you're gonna like get buy a Ferrari and like, you know, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna. I drive a Passat, like a 1999 1.8T turbo Passat. I'm gonna drive it until it just turns into dust. I love that car. The leather seats are like cracked and like it's like all styrofoam, but you know, I'm a weird character. I'm you know, it's not like, oh yeah, and here's the thing, I've earned that money. You know, like if I make $500 a video, the plan, you know, $500 a video, 2 videos, you know, if I make 2 videos a week, and if things go well, fuck it. If I make 1 video a day, right? I make $500 a day. You know, wow, man. Okay, $500 a day. It's like what's that? $15,000 a month. Yeah, so that's 15 grand, right? $15 grand a month. It's like $180,000 a year, right? I mean, that's like a video a day, like, you know, woo! Like, oh, that's so much money. It is a lot of money to somebody who used to deliver pizza, you know, for money. That's like, that's insane, right? Bill Gates has 70, 80 billion dollars. And he doesn't do, like, that's 80 billion, that's $80 billion. It's not being put to any fucking use. Nothing. With 80 million, with $80 billion, I would be producing my own fucking like Cosmos-like series perpetually. Like, that series would never end. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, never? Never. God contest, alright? Matrix and, you know, stop ourselves from aging. The sun is never going to explode. Retarded, alright? Existence is the dream machine that we live in. Remember, it's not going to disappear. It's here forever. There's nothing else. Anyway, so don't feel bad about overpaying me, because like, what am I gonna do with 180 grand a year, right? Shit, in Hollywood terms, that's nothing. $500 a day is like scale. I don't know, in like 1996, right? No, it's like $200 a day back then. But like, you know, if I got like $5,000 a video, you know, I would love to shoot movies on 35mm film, right? I would love to have like, you know, 4 Airy Alexas that I own, right? I would love to have 4 Airy Cam lights to shoot my 35mm features on. Also, I don't know, 1 to 4 Airy, what is it? Is it the 7? I'll just do this. I forgot the model number, but 70. I'd love to shoot on 70 millimeter. All right. Guess what? Paul Thomas Anderson just did it. Like it's fucking nothing. You know. Hey, I just shot on 70. I'm the director of Boogie Nights. Wow, that's great, director of Boogie Nights. I'm the winner of the Secret God contest, and I'm explaining the entire universe to everyone on the internet. I'm using a $200 Canon. It's not that's the eBay price, but like, you know, I got this HD thing. It works. I mean, it's high def, but like the lens is the size of this, you know, this marker. That's a little bit bigger than that, actually. Hold on. No, the lens is smaller. Okay, no. The lens is about the size of this marker tip. That's how big the lens is. And then, like, the aperture is not the lens. But anyway. So, yeah, that's great. That's great, Greg. So you want to shoot on 70, right? You want to own all of these. You want to own these cameras, right? And if, you know, Arri Alexa, you know, if I can't get the Arri Alexa, that's pretty pricey. I would go with that, the Sony F55. Right? Sony F55, fully loaded. Woo, I could do that too. But, you know, Greg, you want to go right for the Sony F55? Sony F55 is like what I would like to move up to. There is a handy cam that is better than the camera I'm using currently. I'd probably step up to that next. So it's like handy cam. You know, that's like $3,000. It's like $3,000. That's like about fully loaded. It'd probably be like 30. That's like $30,000. That's the markup. $3,000, $30,000, and then like $300,000, pretty much probably, and then like $3 mil. What is that? $3 mil for 4 of them. But like, you know, this is a single camera. One camera's $3,000. One of these is about $30,000, probably more. Arri Alexa, I think it's more like one Arri Alexa camera. Maybe it's probably anywhere from like $3 to like $700,000 per camera. You gotta think. I mean, I haven't really looked into prices, but then like, you know, AirCam Lite, I don't think they even make it anymore. As soon as somebody from like the Arri Corporation like watches one of my videos, then, you know, I feel like they would make these cameras again. They'd be like, you know, we don't make AirCam Lights anymore. We'll make 4 of them for you, Greg. Ah, thanks AirCam, or thanks Arri. You guys are the best, right? And oh, Greg, what about Panavision? Fuck Panavision. Anyway. But you know what I'm saying. Panavision, they don't even sell their cameras. So, you know, I want to own my own cameras. That's why Arri. Alright? So, like, you know, 4 70mm cameras. 4 motherfuckers. Right? Okay, so this is getting in the neighborhood of, like, you know, $5 to $10 million. Then, like, film, I gotta pay for film stock. And then, like, you know, visual effects, I gotta pay the effects guys. You know, here's everyone I gotta pay. I gotta pay myself, right? For like everything I'm doing, obviously, right? Then there's the crew, right? Then there are the actors, right? Then there's the VFX people, right? Then there's like the post people. Then there's the music, right? Then there's also, I mean, I'm gonna do all this shit myself. Then there's also like, you know, the distro and like the, you know, promo stuff. Which I would probably like just, you know, handle myself or whatever. But my big plan is this. There's the 4 major pieces of the pie, I believe. Let's see, there's myself, there's the crew, or the actors, and then there's 5. Alright? So there's like myself, you know, actors, crew, VFX people, and then like music, right? And VFX is also just post, right? Act, music, me. And here's the thing. Wow, Greg, you're making so much money. All of my money is just gonna go right back into like stuff, my budgets, you know. So like I would gladly like, you know, I mean, any money I make, I don't want like a you know, a solid gold like Learjet, you know. One Learjet would be fine. It makes total sense for me, you know. A Learjet, yeah, I need a private jet because I'm gonna be shooting on location. Like, there is so much shit. I haven't even gotten to like religion yet, you know. Man, so much shit I need to cover. Anyway, so let's see. You know, 70 millimeter. Then the sound stages. You know, I want to build some sound stages. You know, out here in Maryland, probably in Laurel. Let's see. You know, what is it? Studio. What do they call them? Anyway, so like you know, built some sound stages. You know, like a giant green screen stage. I could just do all sorts of green screen shit. You know, sets. I need sets. I got to build a set, recreate like this nightclub that I used to go to. You know, so give as generously as you can, people, and remember, I'm not showing you how to like, you know, change a tire. This is the fucking, like, my 30 subscribers might understand this, but this isn't something that you really try to like, you know, virally like, you know, you don't want to like send my videos to anyone else because you don't know how they're going to react to it. Oh yeah, you believe that? Oh yeah, and then everyone reveals themselves to be the like weirdo fucking like, you know, psych vamp like religious, you know, creationist weirdos that they are, and then you're like, look. So at this point it's like, hey people, you found me through Patreon. You don't have to like you don't have to like recommend my videos to anyone. Just, you know, just realize anyway, just understand that this is the big show. This is the main attraction. You know? Like my still being in this basement reflects poorly upon your performance, people. it's, a, it's hilarious. Anyway, I mean, like, come on. I enjoy what I'm doing. I mean, like, I think it's hilarious. Anyway, so that message was brought to you by Gregory Michael Bowers. Gregory Michael Bowers. I'm Gregory Michael Bowers. Anyway. Gregory Michael Bowers. I'm Gregory Michael Bowers. Anyway. Wanted to do that. Alright, so now that we see. Oh yeah, the little pie chart I made. Let's say my movie makes $5 million. Right? Let's say I shoot a movie. Everybody is on spec. I make $5 million, right? So what happens is I get $1 million, and then like $1 million gets split among the actors quasi equally. Like maybe depending on like screen time, it's like you'll get paid fairly, you know, and also effort and whatever. Everyone gets paid. I'll just say it. Everyone can get paid. Like, I haven't even told anyone what this project is. Well, let's say that it's the project of the story of the universe, the Gregiverse, which is the universe. Anyway, so like, you know, everything gets $1 million split equally among however many. Let's say I have 10 songs, and that each artist gets $100,000. You know, VFX people. What if there's more VFX people than like music people? Hey, without the music, there's no show, man. right? So the music people get their money, and they're like, woo! And then the VFX people, yeah, well, it seems like the VFX people are going to get screwed. If the VFX people think they're going to get screwed, I'll take my 1 million and just split it in half, and then it's like the Half-Life. No, this is just like a working, initial, and then the crew, all right? So initially, I didn't even think of the VFX people. That's how typical, right? But like, the VFX people, they're a part of the budget, so you essentially would be paying the VFX people. And then when I make a profit, the VFX people will be making a bonus. So, this is basic. And if like the actors make so much money, then they get nothing. Or it's like this is basically every actor's dream producer, director, writer, co-star. So, it's going to be good. Everyone should be excited and, show it with their donations. That's all for now. I know what you're thinking. But wait. Donate. Anyway, wait, what about this? Tune in next time. It's hilarious. I'm just going to keep going. I just feel like going. Woo! But I'm going to stop this video here, and then like the next video is going to be a continuation of this talk, but like, I'll post it, if I need another X amount of dollars. Here's the thing. Patreon. I haven't really even delved completely into the Patreon model, but I know this. Shit. If I can get like even $500 a video, anything less than that is kind of like a waste of my time. And then I'll just like work on my webcomic and there'll be no videos. See what I'm saying? Like, you're going to encourage me. Like, I've been updating like once every 6 months because I'm busy doing so much shit, obviously. My days and nights are filled with stuff that nobody else is bothered with. Anyway, so, I'm just working on this webcomic, and like, I'm thinking to myself, I check out the Patreon site, and I'm like, interesting, right? Like, I was directed there by some guy who was building a helmet, Iron Man helmet. He knows who he is. Anyway, so like, I'm watching like people building Iron Man helmets, and this guy's like, I have a Patreon account. I check it out, and I'm like, hey, you know what? If people want to pay me like $500 a video, at least, let's say 5,000, whatever. Let's say like anywhere from 500 to 5,000 to whatever. And people aren't going to collectively control that. It doesn't. It can swell. I feel comfortable with whatever. I could get paid $5 million a video. I'd be totally cool with it. It doesn't even $5 billion even. Any amount of money I get, I'm not going to be like some lottery winner. Oh, I'll give it to charity. Oh man, no. I'm going to buy cameras and hire actors and build sets and like buy jets so I can fly actors and crew to fucking Tunisia and wherever the fuck I want to fucking fly my actors and crew to. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this, people. Or I could just work on my webcomic and no videos. The webcomic, yeah, I'm going to make money through the webcomic. That's great. And eventually I'm going to make movies from the proceeds of my webcomic. But that would take years. Years. Can you? I can't. I can't sit back and be like, oh, well, I'm just going to wait, like, until the webcomic, catches, like, a niche audience. And then, I can just keep printing, like, graphic novel, like, collections of the comic. I'm gonna do a webcomic and then kickstart physical printings, and then do like hardback collected graphic novels or collected hardback hardback collected volumes, and then just keep doing that until I have enough money to hire an actor and shoot a short film. I mean, that's what I'll be doing, unless unless you give generously, people. Very generous. No, let's see how it goes. At least $500. If I can make like here's the thing. If people can pay me per video, and the more money I get, the more frequently I will post videos, and they're all going to be good shit. Nay, they're all going to contain the most important shit in the universe. Forever. Forever. Hello. My voice gets into these weird, like, see? That is the most important. It is so important that you know that my voice is, it actually is. Because what's happening? Those are terminal hackers trying to cordon off the different volume or the different like pitch levels of my voice. They want me to sound high pitched and hey guys, no. Whereas I want my voice to retain a more baritone pitch. And so once again, it seemed that's all weird character stuff. Anyway, they are still doing it. That's very annoying. Surprise, they're annoying, Not all spirits. Although at times it does seem that way. And it must be handled that way. Like all the spirits are trash. They're just all trash. Like get lost, everyone. Right? That's how it is for me sometimes. And that's something that I'm going to rectify with these videos and this whole process. I did something akin to this before, but, with 30 viewers not wanting to share the information with anyone. I'm not going to tell anybody any of this shit. So, as long as I have, like, individual viewers who are all, like, not connected to anyone else, donating money, it's totally cool. It's just that Patreon didn't exist before. Now it does, and hey, I might be able to make my movies a lot sooner than if I go with this webcomic thing. Here's the thing. I'm going to keep working on my webcomic. That's not going to change. I really love illustrating, and I love the medium of comics, and I love the drawings. Like, you don't really even get an idea of what I'm capable of artistically. I mean, you get some idea at times, but like I'm a visual artist. If you check out the website, the attentionhumans.org site, you can see my design skills demonstrated. Even though there's no artwork on the page yet, the logo, I designed it myself and built it myself, and I'm pretty proud of it. It looks great. Anyway, so like, I just want to make movies. Like, I want to do lots of stuff, but I can't do as much stuff as I want, ideally. Right now I'm just working on a webcomic, and that's it. Like, I don't talk to anybody all that much. I'm I want to make films, and not with like actors that I meet at the local mall, or like at some local theater group. Like actual name actual name actresses to begin with. My films, And I know that sounds weird, but like, there's a CD case here. Anyway, um, but yeah, I'd like to like the first film. It's not just women. That's just me being like you know, weird about stuff. But like yeah, like I would love to work with actors, and I don't always. It's not like you know, I'm gonna be in some film that I write, and it's gonna be me. Enter Greg. No, Greg is always in his chair, always like very animated and you know, no, like anyway, something. We'll here I'm gonna erase all of this stuff. So we got to the system of interconnection. We got to the fallacy of finite existence, and like about age 9, right? Age 9, fallacy of finite existence, and nuclear holocaust. All right, so you don't want to watch me erase stuff. So tune in next episode. Tune in tomorrow or whenever I post it, depending on how much money I get. You know, Greg, people, you're gonna get like $78 per video. Who cares? I'll do like one video. Even like I'll do a video a day. No, here you go. Yeah. The more money people pledge to my Patreon account, the more motivation I will have to do a video a day. I could do a video a day, like 7 days a week. You know, I could do that. We'll see. Tune in tomorrow or next time for Actuality Update. I don't think I'm going to do like the semicolon, but we'll do it for now. Actuality Update. Reality Suture. And yeah, we'll talk about life and reality and like you know, how science is like right about some things, you know, and then like oh yeah, and then we'll also discuss religion, more psych vamps. Oh, psychic vampirism. Yeah, how they didn't even exist for me in any real sense until recently. Woo, a lot of shit just like built up when I went into fallacy of finite existence. Oh, we're in magic and dreams and war, and then you know, it eventually like you know, exploded, and then like you know, I won the Secret God contest at the exact same moment, and they lost. The moment they revealed themselves, they had already lost. It's a great story, guys. More tomorrow. More whenever I post the next video. I'm probably going to record it after I dump this footage onto this hard drive. Yes. I mean, ideally, I would just keep talking. And the thing is, I always get the same haircut and wear the same shirt, and everything is always in place. You have no idea. There's never really any indication of a passage of time. It's hilarious. So I'm just gonna stop this video at this point, and then like the next video will start with the exact same shit on the board. You won't know if it's been 1 minute or 1 day or 1 week, unless I don't know. You know, post the stuff 1 week later or something. Anyway, Anyway, so, yeah, actuality update. Reality Suture. Woo! Yeah! Totally stitching it up, guys. Ah! Anyway. I'm supposed to be looking into the lens when I do that. But for some reason, there's this little guy over here. He looks just like me. And he's in this little monitor here. And it's like, it's a person. And like, I'd rather look at the person than the fucking lens. It's like, that's not how it always is. It's just because that there is something. I know if there's a camera person, some people would be tempted to look at the camera person if they're like 2 or 3 years old and don't understand how cameras work. It's just so intriguing. And my arms look pretty good. Anyway. Alright. I can't, hold on, I gotta do that again because I ruined it. It was totally great. I believe I want to talk about my arms looking pretty good, Arms look pretty good. I'm not even flexing all that much. See? It's still like, hold on. Oh, whoa! It's always this moment here when I'm like reaching for the off button that I feel that things are a little awkward because it's like ha 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 ha. It's so very odd. But here, I'll do this. Tune in next time. Same Greg time. Same. Now I'm looking at the lighting. That looks alright. Same Greg time. Same Greg channel. Actuality update reality suture. I don't think I'm going to do it any more times than what I've just done. And we'll see you next time.